Hi, welcome back. We are back in our session for the afternoon, Reviving Your Board. This afternoon, we're going to talk about the basic board responsibilities and what your legal requirements are and how to fulfill those in an overview. So first, the legal stuff. All board members have three primary legal duties: duty of care, duty of loyalty, and duty of obedience. Duty of care refers to and includes attending board meetings and events, reviewing and understanding the organization's financial documents, helping to frame strategic plans, identifying and managing risks, and taking prudent steps to advance the organization's mission and goals. Duty of loyalty requires that a board member disclose any potential conflicts of interest and that you act in the best interest of the organization at all times. Duty of obedience works to ensure that the organization complies with applicable laws and regulations, so whatever state you're in as well as federal, and acts in accordance with your own policies and carries out your mission appropriately. Another major function of the board of directors is to select and support the executive director and, of course, review their performance. That, of course, requires that you have a comprehensive job description to review the executive director against. Some boards use their executive committee to fulfill this review process, but it is a function of the entire board. Additionally, it helps if your annual goals and objectives are mutually discussed and agreed upon so that everyone is on the same page regarding the expectations of the executive director. And of course, you want to make sure that the executive director receives frequent feedback so that they can continue to modify and adjust as they need to. It's your role to ensure that he or she is introduced to other community members and leaders. You want to make sure that they are complimented for their exceptional initiatives and encouraged to take professional and personal leave for review, and assisted when members of the board are misunderstanding their roles. Another function of the board is to ensure effective organizational planning. Board members must be involved in the planning so that they can assume proper ownership of implementation. This should be done annually so that you have specific goals and objectives to reach over the next year, as well as long-term strategic planning, which should include these objectives on the right-hand side of the screen. Board members should also be free of vested interest. Of course, this includes what we were talking about, your duty of loyalty, making sure that you don't have any specific interest in financial gain, and that you are considering issues and rendering judgments that benefit the organization as a whole. The board also must ensure adequate resources. This is not just a function of the executive director, grant writer, or development staff. This is a function of the board. This is a function that has been bestowed upon you by your participation of being a board member. Therefore, if you do not have one, I highly recommend you have a give or get policy. Each board member should be participating in the financial well-being of the organization as a whole, which means if you are not able to financially contribute, there are other ways that you can ensure that financial stability through obtaining funding through other sources, talking with donors, raising funds through events and planning, or grant writing, or other ways. But everyone should be contributing financially to the health of the organization. This does help when you're reaching out to other donors. They want to see that those who are representing the board are also making sure that it is financially well off. Also, you would want to periodically consider a fundraising rationale and plan a case statement. This is a written statement which helps you address specific special projects or programs or more unrestricted purposes, and allows you to develop a game plan and have it written down so that everyone is on the same page. The case should clearly answer the questions of why the organization needs money and how the funding will be used. It is also important for board members to enhance the organization's public image. One way you do this is by ensuring that you have board members that are on the up and up, and I can help you do that if you would like. Another way is to practice, practice, practice. Use your board meetings. Take time, each meeting to talk about the good things that the organization is doing, and give opportunities for each board member to express those good things to each other so that they have that language in their mouths and in their heads, and they're able to express it with confidence and without hesitation. You can do this by between board meetings clearly outlining and sharing achievements. For example, annual reports, press releases, any kind of news that is shared about your organization, and also explanations of how gifts, grants, and other funds are allocated. And I also encourage you to listen. This is with all caps because you need to listen to the constituents that you serve and hear from them regarding the services that you provide, how well you're doing, things that you could do to improve, and to the donors that are giving to your organization. You want their funding to match their philanthropic goals. And the way to do that, the only way to do that, is to listen to them and hear what their heart is. And finally, the board needs to assess its own performance. This needs to be a substantive review and should be done every 3 to 5 years, and should include membership composition. You want to make sure that your board matrix is still representative of the community at large that you are serving, that the process for selecting new members is helpful in leading you to people who resonate with your mission and your goals, and that the organizational structure is current and viable and healthy for the continuation of services provided to your constituents. This can be done through an anonymous survey of your board members, and I highly recommend that you do it a review after the survey overnight away from the boardroom. This allows for fewer distractions and allows potentially for better socialization and camaraderie between board members and between board members and the executive director. In addition, I highly recommend a third-party facilitator because they can bring experience, objectivity, credibility, and perspective, and also a little bit of innocence to the process, and allow for an overarching review of board members and their ability to serve. And I'm having trouble. Okay, so at this time, I am glad to take any questions you might have regarding the material that we have addressed today. Okay. And finally, here's my contact information. I would love to hear from you and hear how you liked this presentation, and if you had any feedback regarding new and different ways that I can present the information that would help you resonate with the information being shared. And if you have any referrals or would like to see any other services that I provide, you can go to my website at growinggoodconsulting.com. I really appreciate your time today and for letting me have the opportunity to share with you.